Fox 13 is following breaking news. President Biden has just pardoned his son Hunter, sparing him from a possible prison sentence for federal felony gun and tax convictions. The president had previously said he would not pardon his son or commute his sentence after his convictions in 2 cases in Delaware and California. In a statement released tonight, the president said he signed the pardon alleging his son's prosecution was politically motivated and a, quote, miscarriage of justice. He also said he hopes Americans will understand why a father and president would come to this decision.
Hey, yo, I want to say thank you for being here, and we got 22 more days until Christmas. All right, as long as these people keep on pointing the finger and switching sides and trying to flip-flop, yo, it makes for great content. Recently, President Biden signed for his son, Hunter Biden, to be pardoned and not have to serve time after being convicted by a jury of his peers on charges of tax evasion, as well as doing some faulty paperwork when it came to acquiring a firearm. And also, we have to remember that President Biden has been very stingy when it comes to pardoning people. I think that some people have said he has substantially less pardons than other presidents in recent history. President Biden was asked a multitude of times whether he intended to pardon Hunter Biden since his conviction. And his answer to the public was always no. But once again, America proves that this is not a level playing field. And I don't mean in terms of race and stuff like that. I mean in terms of class. All right, you have the rich and elites, and then you have everyone else. And if you're a part of that rich and elite club, you could do and get away with certain things. Because I know that the government would take everyone's guns if they could. And if you weren't paying them and giving them their little money, them IRS agents will come in and kick in your door. Joe Biden has proven throughout his term that he's a liar. Okay, he lied on everything. How are them student forgiveness loans that he ran on going? How's the free healthcare he probably ran on going? And the biggest proof should be all of this Trump witch hunt stuff that we've gone through for the last I don't know how many years. But if you were being honest with yourself and hearing Joe Biden say it, I mean, if he said it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, do you think he'll remember by 3 o'clock that same afternoon? So we should have known that the pardon was coming in all reality.
What's your take on the pardon?
You know, the Biden situation disgusted me in terms of the pardon only from this standpoint, Chris. Nobody on the planet, you want to be a cynic and you want to act like you would be offended by something like that if you're one of those people out there, fine. But no one within reason would have a problem with him saying, it's my son. I love him. There's no way I'm sending him to jail. And I have the power to avoid it. Nobody would blame him for that. But that's not where he went. So I didn't have a problem to answer your question directly with the decision that he made to pardon his son. Boo-Boo the Fool knew he was going to do that. I don't care who he stood in front of or sat in front of and said that he wasn't going to pardon his son and he was just going to go by the letter of the law. Please, everybody and their grandmother knew he was going to pardon his son.
See, I got a problem with the precedent of that setting. It's pretty much saying if you have some sort of, power, hey, your children and your family, they're off limits. They could do whatever and they get immunity as if they were president. I don't agree with that at all.
Questions? Yes.
Do you agree with some of your Democratic colleagues who say that President Biden's pardon of Hunter Biden was wrong or unwise, puts personal interest ahead of duty?
I got nothing for you on that.
Can I follow up on that? Are you concerned with the lack of transparency, lack of honesty around Biden's decision to pardon?
As I said, I got nothing for you on that. Nope.
Pardoning anyone on the way out of office, family members, sets a poor precedent.
Thank you. I've got nothing for you on that.
But the question is, they talked about January 6 pardons. This is a playbook for incoming President Trump. Isn't this a problem? Did he not establish a bad precedent for pardons?
I got nothing for you on that. Any other subjects?
And I don't know what it is with Democrats. They don't understand that eventually they're going to lose the power and everything that they're doing will be done to them. The way that they've looked into everyone around Trump, now everyone's scrambling. Oh, he's running. He's going to come after his political opponents. Why not? Why shouldn't he come after everyone who came after him? And everyone who's seeing this take place should fully endorse him going after him. This is an abuse of power, and if you're gonna have it on one side, you gotta balance it out. Okay, because if this was Trump pardoning Don Jr., Eric Trump, Barron Trump, or one of his daughters, America right now, everybody right now would be saying democracy is dead. But because it's Joe Biden, once again, he gets away with it. Everyone is going to say it's Hunter that's the victim. They gaslight. And that's the whole narrative that they're spinning. Well, I have a problem with people leveraging their authority when it comes to others that break the law. Now, if you have a business and you want to hire your kids, a family member, a niece, a nephew, whatever, that's completely different. Okay, but when we're talking about breaking the law, we all got to be held to the same standards.
Come out and to start talking about how it's been a witch hunt and the Department of Justice and others were after him, or whoever it was, and GOP rather was after him. Well, wait a minute. What have y'all been doing with Donald Trump all of these years?
Exactly.
Now, you can make an argument about the legitimacy of the cases against Donald Trump compared to what wasn't legitimate, etc. That's not the point.
They went after Donald Trump for hush money, okay, for paying for the cat. Now, is that something I support? No. But is that something that I know is something that really takes place in the world? Of course. Okay, there's women that are supplying a service. The men want the service. It's monetarily transactional. I don't morally believe with it, but what's the issue? Y'all really went diving into this man and charged him with felonies and all of that.
The point is, it was clearly politicized. You had folks on the left who were hell-bent on going after Donald Trump because they were determined to make sure that he couldn't run for re-election or that these elements would get in the way of him possibly winning re-election. And now we know why more than ever, because they weren't confident they would ever be able to beat him. He'd been a Republican nominee since 2016.
Remember that. A lot of people said that they were not voting for Trump just for the fact that he was a felon, right? Even though he hadn't been sentenced. So technically, the case isn't closed. And even now, as we speak, Judge Merchan is looking to dismiss the trials. All right, we got Jack Smith looking to dismiss his federal case. All right, we got the one in Atlanta, the interference. They're looking to dismiss it. So all of these cases are falling apart. This was election interference. This was gaslighting the public into thinking Trump was this bad person. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's doing the same thing. I forget how the saying goes. It's like hitting you and then hiding your hand. That's exactly what Joe Biden and his administration have done to Trump this entire time.
Because they weren't confident they would ever be able to beat him. He'd been a Republican nominee since 2016. He beat Hillary Clinton with the Electoral College vote. He wouldn't concede defeat in 2020, but he did receive over 74 million votes at that particular moment in time. And then you fast forward 4 years later, despite the 34 felony convictions, the 2 impeachments, the bevy of crimes that he had been accused of, the Republican voters out there, the conservative...
The assassination attempts, multiple
voters out there, and a lot of independents from various communities said, he's the guy we want, and I've said it on many, many occasions. It wasn't about him. Just like it wasn't about Biden in 2020, it was more against Trump. In this particular instance, it was an indictment against the Biden administration, what had been going on for the last 4 years, some of the things going on with the border, obviously inflation, of course, crime in the streets, of course, woke and cancel culture and all of that, it all played a role. And so for him to come out and to talk about that this was a witch hunt when clearly it could be argued that's exactly what you were doing to Donald Trump, or you assisted in doing, seems beyond hypocritical. And that was what disgusted me. It wasn't his decision. It wasn't him pardoning his son. It was the weak, pathetic explanation that he gave, which has most critics just shaking their heads and raising their eyebrows and saying, what nerve you have.
Yeah, Stephen A. hit a lot of the points right there. And what I don't understand, if he knows exactly who Joe Biden is, why was he out there trying to galvanize people for Kamala? I don't get it. Because he knows all the problems that Joe Biden had. Kamala was part of that. They were the same thing. So if she were in office, all of that stuff, cancel culture, the wokeism, the border, the crime, all of that stuff would still be a problem. Yo, man, the way that these people now are singing a whole different tune, including Chris Cuomo. Okay, a couple years ago, he wasn't red-pilled yet. After President Biden pardoned his son, where was he off to? He was off to Angola. All right, to be held in the highest esteem as the leader of the #1 strongest country in the world. Let's check it out. Yo, I will be so happy come January 20th when I don't have to see the president being not, I can't even say disrespected, man. The man has been disrespected by his own country and family for him even being in this position. Honestly. All right, he's a dementia patient. He shouldn't be there. He doesn't know where he is. He's probably wearing a diaper. All right, the man had to stop him from, I don't know, walking into the road, walking off the side of a bridge. I don't know where he is because he doesn't even know where he is. It's coming, though. Just keep on holding on. Keep on praying. All right, we got to get through this holiday season into the new year, but we're almost there. It's like we're seeing a dynasty crumbling before our eyes, for real. You see CNN and MSNBC looking to sell their platforms because viewership is at an all-time low. People going to alternative media instead of the legacy media to get their news now because that's where you can actually go to get some truth. Now we have President Biden signing a pardon to his son, and I just want to know in the coming weeks, who else will he pardon? And based on who you see him pardoning, that should give you a little glimpse into what's going to be coming or what these people have done in the past. You know, and I'm not trying to have on my tinfoil too tight right now, but I'm just saying the next few months could be very, very interesting in what we seeing take place with people in the government or have been in the government. But Hunter Biden is now a free man, and he has been pardoned for everything going back 11 years. Anything that he was associated with places in Ukraine would be pardoned, essentially. So because that happened in 2014. So, you know, Hunter Biden, for all intents and purposes, is a upstanding, law-abiding citizen. Okay, you can't prove that he has done anything that you have alleged against him because the president of all people, through no means of nepotism, has pardoned him. You know, but I'm interested to know whatever y'all thinking in the comments section. Till the next video, y'all be safe and stay wavy.
Repetition is the father of learning.